She believed God always spoke clearly, until one day, he didn't. This is the story of Hannah. Chapter 1. The God Hannah knew. Hannah had always believed God was clear. Not cruelly mysterious. Not distant. Not confusing. Clear. She learned that belief early, sitting on the cool tiled floor of her childhood church. Her legs swinging beneath a wooden bench while her mother sang softly beside her.
God doesn't play hide and seek.
Her mother once told her, squeezing Hannah's small hand. If he wants you to know something,
He'll make it plain.
and for a long time, that felt true. When Hannah prayed about school, the answers came easily. When she prayed about friendships, doors opened or closed neatly. When she asked God for direction, circumstances lined up like arrows pointing forward. Even as a young woman, her faith felt organized. One evening, sitting across from her friend Naomi at a cafe, Hannah laughed as she stirred her tea.
You see, He always makes it obvious.
Naomi raised an eyebrow. Always. Hannah nodded without hesitation. Always. I pray, and then something happens. A sign. A piece. An opportunity. Naomi smiled, but her voice was thoughtful.
I hope it stays that way.
Stays that way for you. Hannah didn't notice the weight behind those words. At that point in her life, faith felt like a conversation with clear sentences and punctuation. God spoke. Hannah listened. Then she moved. Simple. So when life eventually stopped making sense, silence was the last thing she expected. Chapter 2. When the noise stopped, the season didn't announce itself. It slipped in quietly. A plan Hannah had prayed over for years began to unravel. A door she believed God had opened suddenly slammed shut without explanation. She sat on her bed that night, phone glowing faintly beside her, staring at the wall.
This doesn't make sense.
She whispered. She folded her hands the way she always had.
God, did I misunderstand you?
She said softly. She waited. Nothing. No inner reassurance. No scripture rising in her mind. No calm. Just the hum of the ceiling fan. The next morning, she tried again.
God, should I keep going?
She asked while getting dressed. Silence. Days turned into weeks. At work, Hannah smiled when spoken to. How are you? A co-worker asked.
I'm fine.
Hannah replied automatically. But later, sitting alone in her car, she gripped the steering wheel.
I'm not fine. I'm confused.
One night, she knelt beside her bed, voice trembling. God, I've always heard you before, she said.
Why can't I hear you now?
The quiet felt heavier than words. For the first time in her life, Hannah wondered if silence meant absence. Chapter 3. Smiling through the weight outwardly, Hannah didn't change. She still showed up. Still served. Still laughed at the right moments. But inside, her thoughts were loud. One afternoon, Naomi called her. You've been quiet lately, Naomi said. Everything okay? Hannah hesitated.
What? Yeah. Just tired.
That's not what I asked, Naomi replied gently. Hannah sighed.
I prayed. And now, nothing.
Naomi paused. Nothing as in? No answer. No direction. Just silence. Naomi's voice softened. Silence doesn't mean he's gone. It feels like it does, Hannah admitted. That night, Hannah sat alone again. God, she whispered, I'm still doing everything right. I'm still trusting.
So why does it feel
like you've stopped talking? The silence didn't break. Her chest ached with unanswered questions. Chapter 4, The Prayer That Changed One Night. Exhaustion finally stripped her prayers down to honesty.
like you've stopped talking?
She sat on her bed, tears slipping freely now.
God, I don't need a plan.
She said quietly. I don't need explanations. Her voice cracked.
I just need to know you're here.
She waited. Nothing. No warmth. No words. Just quiet. But in that quiet, a thought rose, not as a voice, not as a command, but as a gentle realization. What if silence wasn't rejection? What if, she whispered,
What if you trust me?
The idea unsettled her. Trust me to do what? She asked the empty room. To walk. To choose. To keep going. Hannah wiped her face slowly. I've always followed instructions, she said.
Now, I don't know how to walk without them.
The room stayed silent. Yet something inside her softened. Chapter 5, Learning to Walk Without Echoes. But Hannah noticed something different. The panic faded. She still didn't hear God's voice, but she felt steadier. At lunch one day, Naomi watched her closely.
You look calmer.
Naomi said. I think I am, Hannah replied. Did God answer you? Hannah shook her head. No. But I realized something.
Maybe faith isn't just following instructions. Maybe it's walking when they stop.
Naomi smiled.
That sounds like growth.
That night, Hannah prayed differently.
God, I don't hear you, but I'm still here.
She stood up, heart lighter. The silence no longer felt empty. It felt watchful. Chapter 6, Choosing Without Certainty. Weeks passed. Hannah faced decisions she would have once avoided without divine confirmation. She hesitated, then chose anyway.
I hope this is okay.
She whispered one morning.
I'm doing my best.
Nothing answered. But nothing fell apart either. One evening, she said aloud,
I'm scared I'll mess this up.
The room remained quiet. And strangely, that didn't terrify her anymore. Chapter 7, A Different Kind of Faith. At church, a sermon caught her attention. Faith, the pastor said, is not always about hearing God clearly. Sometimes it's about trusting his character when he's quiet. Hannah felt tears rise. After service, Naomi hugged her.
You're not lost.
Naomi whispered.
You're learning.
That night, Hannah prayed softly.
Even if I don't hear you, I will still trust you.
Peace settled in, not dramatic, not overwhelming, but real. Chapter 8, Silence That Shapes. Months later, Hannah looked back.
The silence had changed me, but I no longer needed constant reassurance. I no longer panicked at unanswered prayers.
One evening, she smiled to herself. You didn't leave, she said softly. You stayed quiet. And in that quiet, she grew. Chapter 9, When the Silence Speaks. One morning, clarity came, not as a voice, but as understanding.
God hadn't stopped speaking. He'd been teaching me differently.
Hannah whispered.
Thank you for trusting me.
Chapter 10, Full silence. That night, she sat on her bed once more. The same place. The same quiet. But a different heart.
Even if you stay silent, I know you're here.
And the silence felt full. Not empty. Not lonely. But alive. She felt peace in God's quiet, yet little did she know the journey of faith was far from over. To be continued. Proverbs 3 verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Not every season gives answers. Some seasons build faith strong enough to walk without them. Join us in continuing this story of faith. Part 2 will show what happens when the silence feels too long.